is a lot more manageable for Smeb on the Aatrox. And if you're taking a team fighter and allowing the Aatrox, who in many cases can actually be the superior team fighter after the changes to it, the ultimate and the Bloodwell. Very interesting. Feels like Nuguri has a lot of options. They could have gone for a mid laner into Zoe instead, but they went overall for this cannon. What does it mean? We'll find out very shortly. If it is an AP cannon, they have some pretty insane team fight wombo available.
Absolutely, they can see as we jump into Game 3. We are back onto the Rift here for the third game of this series. Prey just hopping onto the Ezreal. I think that's his third unique pick that he has gone for today. Kalista into Ashe, into Ezreal. We saw how disappointed and kind of frustrated he looked after game number 2 in that loss. So maybe he wants to take things into his own hands, as Ezreal can certainly do that.
Do it with a sack of gold as well. Will he have a control ward on this back? The answer is no. The crowd actually moan. They're like, what? 60?
60?
Prey.
Oh, no.
He was in the base.
Yeah.
He was shopping. We're continuing this,
but
now...
Beryl and Nuclear are so deep in here, as now Snowflower starting off with the Ignite. It's just going to be the flag from the Jarvan, but the follow flash here from Snowflower. Not sure about that one, mate.
Huh. All right, so that ends up with both AD carries flashing, but more importantly, Snowflower using both of his lane presence summoners here. So I think Rakan is going to be an intriguing one to follow. That's a lot of action at level 1, and also the sort of thing that could just warp a game depending on which jungler profits from it. Notice that Lee Sin's starting top side, so he might have an easier route through the jungle to go for a counter gank or gank bot side. Meanwhile, Jarvan, big buff into big buff is the start.
He wants to secure them buffs, and he's going to see the Lee Sin on a ward. So how about a little bit of a Beta Reno here for the side of Canyon.
BDD coming.
Wow, right over the wall. They're not wasting any time with this one. Trying to get the kill here on a Canyon, but you can see that Nuguri has the priority in the top side as he was pushing. Still on the chase is Score. Just pokes him in the back there one more time on his way out.
Canyon had to be so careful about a trouble bubble going all the way through that terrain and catching him, so it's another thing to consider because the Zoe was on the prowl. Ends up being a flash-for-flash trade. Probably does relegate Lee Sin into level 6 duty, and that does a lot of help for the KT bot lane there, getting the Lee Sin flash down, because otherwise, we were already talking about Canyon having a pretty big target onto the Nautilus in the early laning phase.
That is for sure. Just going to have to meekly go back to his own jungle and not try to steal anything away. Goes straight to Wolves, probably over to the blue here. We do see the Kleptomancy up in the top side for Nuguri, so not that press the attack.
Does heavily suggest just going into the ability power route, maybe through the Gunblade and onwards from there. Anything else would be a digression, but this is Nuguri. Again, just in the previous game, he brought back the Frozen Heart early on the rise, and was the big reason they were basically able to crush down KT in the mid-game. So we do defer to him on builds more often than not. I want to talk about how KT, for the first time, are playing the on-paper star-powered trio of Smeb, BDD, and Prey in their carry roles, and Score also a superstar jungler in his own right. This is definitely the big lineup they'd advertise. I was actually thinking of kind of names for this team, because they're not the super team anymore at KT.
Yeah.
With the new roster. The favorite one that was suggested to me is the Expendables, just because it kind of plays into the fact that they are these older, grizzled veterans who want to come in for that big last payday, that big last Worlds qualification. We're bot lane, and Canyon's here like we predicted.
Yeah, looking for Prey, who doesn't have his flash, but he's a damn Ezreal as he just arcane shifts away, and Canyon loses more than half his health bar, so just has to once again just accept defeat there.
Canyon in the spot, but Score in for the counter gank. He's still here. Doesn't have vision on Canyon.
And they're just going to dodge that one now to turn it with the TP. Here we go. The Silas coming on in, but they're trying to turn it around now as Score goes in, but he's going to be punished for that one as now BDD going 1v4 here. Snowflower's too low. KT they got to get out of this one. Snowflower's going to go down as well, and Showmaker here still on the chase. We'll see if he can get on into this one. Nice little dodge there from VDD means that no more follow-up, but the win heavily in DAMWON's favor.
That was a sick teleport spot for Showmaker to come in because Showmaker has CC already. Nuguri, level 5, the top lane is matched. They don't come down. TP advantage in the mid lane, and coming down from that angle meant there was no ability for KT to just run through the turret. They were scared of the TP coming through, and that was what guaranteed not just a single nominal kill, 2 kills to DWG Gaming. Watch the replay here and consider how it all comes together. The score was ahead of the first gank attempt. Canyon comes down. DWG Gaming's first thought is defense, but then teleporting onto the minion here means that KT are caught between a rock and a hard place. DWG can just play front to back, and VDD's not strong enough to come in and pop someone on his late entrance to the fight. They get 2 kills, they back away. Clean stuff from DWG Gaming.
Good follow-up from Canyon as now the stun comes in. And now Smeb, he was way too low to go for the flash. Knew he was dead anyway. And will have to accept his death in the top lane.
Wow. That's another kill, and that's mostly from Nuguri's hard work. Canyon in position as well. Didn't see what led to the start of that play for Smeb to be in a rough spot, but unfortunately for regular viewers of the LCK this year, Smeb's struggles have been kind of a consistent theme that we've been talking about. Canyon's just getting in there and bodying now.
Canyon finally getting a chance in the series to just shut him down. Him being Score, as Score was definitely dictating the pace of the jungle for the majority of the beginning of the series.
And the shoe's on the other foot, remember? In game number 1, we were watching Canyon rip away the Gragas. Really don't want to give that one over to Score to DWG Gaming. They banned it this game. And then he was, of course, being dictated too. It was the wily veteran versus the younger jungler. Here, we're seeing the shoe on the other foot as Showmaker's down about a second time, but the Ghost Borrow doing a lot of work as a surrogate control ward to stop even more kills going the way for DWG Gaming.
Yeah, there was the flash available for Beryl. He's not level 6, but definitely could have caused a commotion down there and perhaps gotten Showmaker into position to do that damage, but actually kind of hard to get on top of not only the Ezreal, but also the Nautilus, who can land that hook.
And when we were sitting there talking about press the attack, Cannon, I'm 100% certain if Cuba's in this game, he's playing press the attack in this spot. We're talking about, okay, well, if you go press the attack, you're reliably going to beat the Aatrox, and the Aatrox can get dunked, etc., etc. What if you're just fancying yourself as a player and can just win on AP, Cannon, and then be initiated with it? This was all about getting enough marks of the Storm to get the stun with the flash, Smeb not expecting it, and getting beaten. And that's where Nuguri sees things other Korean tops don't. And if he can win lane on AP Cannon, and then they have Cannon as initiated alongside the Rakan, and with oomph behind it, not the on-hit base damages, then they have everything Valdez. We don't usually talk about that because that's greedy, right? That's trying to have your cake and eat it too, but yeah, Nuguri's making it once again abundantly clear that when he gets it all on the Rift at the same time, maybe he can have everything.
He can kind of do whatever he wants as Aatrox, deceptively squishy without any items up on the top side, so does go down there. Definitely unfortunate for him, but sticking in at least for the CS so far, only down about 8 or 9 here. As now DAMWON with their lead are going to push on to the Mountain Drake here. Canyon's going to smite that one down. That Score was just in the top side.
And now Score, coming back to our earlier discussion in Champ Select of what do we do with Smeb versus Nuguri? Do we give him a lot of resources and then potentially still be undone, or do we give him comfort and move away from that? They went for something that kind of requires the resources, Valdez, the Aatrox into the Cannon matchup, regardless of Cannon build. It's always going to be rough early game. Right now, the resources aren't bearing fruit. We just saw Score try to give as much vision as possible. Meanwhile, Canyon, whether he finds Score or whether he comes bot side looking for a kick, there's a lot to like for Canyon in the bot lane.
Looking for it now as the kick into the charm.
Beautiful.
See you later, as it's super clean from the side of DAMWON's bot lane and Canyon.
Just kicking KT off the Rift, it feels like, with that kill. Now it's 4 insult upon injury. Turret plates as well. DWG Gaming looking to just style through KT Rolster.
They got the super fast push with the Xayah. You can see there's no TP available here. Score.
Oh, he's just behind the play now. Now he really is starting to feel it. This took a lot longer in the previous game before Olaf was an onlooker. Now the Jarvan is getting into that territory as well. And KT, we talked about how they want Aatrox to be strong in the one, or at least able to go farm for farm. And then Zoe, Ezreal, when they hit their items, those items are going to come late because people are dying, Valdez. And if Kennon's just straight up winning in the 1v1, has priority pushes and ults, well, the siege ain't going to happen. This was just a thing of beauty between the DAMWON Gaming members. The DAMWON Gaming ceiling, it's through the roof. We know how talented they are mechanically. They've had times where all 5 players were in the top 10 of solo queue at the same time. On the Rift at the same time in that form, not so much so far as BD.
How about another one here for Beryl, trying to make it interesting in the mid lane against BDD, but Snowflower and Score in position, but BDD has to blow his real flash to get away from that one, but Canyon waiting in the wings here. Gonna get the double knock up here as maybe DAMWON went too far. KT able to pick up one, and the TP now coming in as they want more, and Beryl super low gets dunked down by the Aatrox of Smith.
The punish there is real. Prey joins in as well. Nuclear doesn't join the fight. There's some casualties. Important moment for KT to keep this an even series, and they actually get some turret plates as well.
Great turnaround there as Beryl started off with a great play on the roam, but it just turned into despair and destruction against them.
But when you've got these talented solo queue players who are playing with their tails up, they're getting kills on all those big brands on KT. How much is too far is something you don't always question yourself out as. You just go for those extra kills. You're already up 4-0. Nice punishment from KT. DAMWON to use their teleport. They don't want to give up Rift Arrow.
And now Score going to have to give up his life here as he went a little bit too deep in the pit, and it was a good read by DAMWON to say, hey, we can punish this. Immediate TP comes in from Showmaker, which means that now DAMWON, after that interesting fight we saw in the mid lane, will at least be able to take a kill and the Rift Arrow.
Auto jump there was actually very useful. That's how he got out. We're getting some unsociable League of Legends right now. What I mean by that is, you know when you're playing what should be kind of a friendlier game, maybe a 5-a-side game, and you're playing like with your mates a game of football, and then like someone's slide tackle's just a little bit rougher than you might think, and the contact level goes up. I think both teams want to brawl in this game because we're 1-1, because they know what the meta suggests, and that probably means we're going to see more and more overextensions and just fast action.
Call that physicality.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, not only in traditional sports, but also here in League of Legends. We like action. We like death and destruction here, at least in the game. And definitely both sides are giving it to us here in game number 3. It has been pretty back and forth between these two teams, but DAMWON now looking to take a big lead across the map. Tons of plates in the top lane, and a couple more down the bottom side.
Continues to be punch and counter punch. Look at that. We got the outer turret in top lane and the outer turret in bot lane at 1 turret plate. That's 8 turret plates already cashed in for DAMWON Gaming. That's way ahead of the curve that we usually see. Probably a symptom of the double flash at level 1 for KT. DAMWON.
Canyon just really wanted that red buff, and it looks like he may be punished here, but no, DAMWON looking to turn it around. Score getting really low, has a nice stopwatch, but now Nuguri in the backline is going to zone everybody away, and Snowflower alone can't do the damage, but here's Meb. The Aatrox is going to get into that backline. Can he do the damage? BDD is going to help out in a big way. The Ignite and the minions will be enough to clean that one up as KT turn the fight around.
The physicality, the unsociableness, it's actually coming to bear. So many kills so early, packing up with the plate still up and going for the fight. Kind of have to look to the left, to the right, to the scoreboard to really see how it shakes out. Current plates fade. 1,700 gold, largely from that pushing for DAMWON Gaming.
You can see part of the reason why that Aatrox can do so well in one of these fights that can, you know, you get that first kill and things look really good after that.
And Canyon, he shares the depth charge with his teammate. Not always what you're looking for on the side. Nuguri gets into a great spot, but it's early enough that Cannon isn't going to be ravaging through the health bars. And Smeb, if he had flash here, would have instantly killed 2 people. They get the chase, they get the kills anyway. good enough for KT Rolster.
Absolutely.
I believe he said nice.
오케이, 이제 우리 어떻게 할지만
I
정하면
definitely
돼.
heard a nice within all the words that were said there. Prey said we also have to plan what we're going to do next.
Oh, that is a very important comp. That is a very Prey or veteran thing to say. Yep, we got those kills. What are we going to do with them? Apparently fight more!
Okay, we're going in again, as that's what Rakan likes to do, but they don't get Snowflower, actually. And Prey and Score are going to help him get to safety.
I don't think Snowflower giving up his health bar was what Prey had in mind there, but the brawling continues. We're almost kill a minute. This is definitely a fun one between KT and DAMWON in game number 3. Cloud Drake started up, leashed. Any teleports to talk about? Nope. Both top laners around 50% HP, but no teleports to join.
And it's the return of the strong Smeb up in the top side. After that last fight, you can see that he's not wasting any time. Just immediately looking for fights up on Nuggery. He's up a level, and also did pick up that Yomu, so is able to push out Kennen, who didn't have his TP or flash or anything, and can actually get some plates of his own, or just damage of his own at least.
So all those turret plates is up. There's the very nice bubble to keep BDD at arm's length from the Rakan.
Looks like he was able to proto-belt away from the knockup too, which was got the oohs and ahs going here.
He almost goes play just to trade here by Smeb. That's aggressive.
Nuggery with no ult, or maybe he would have considered going in there after a good trade.
Now, remember that high kill games and more immediate gold in the game, as Showmaker takes the bubble there, means that KT's going to get their early items on time and start up their siege, and that's really good for them in the short term. However, alongside that, DAMWON Gaming's teamfight comp is also getting closer and closer to enough items to say, screw it, all in those damn siegers, those pesky Ezreal Zoe duos in the mid lane. So it's very much a case, my father would say, of 6 and 2 3s. It works for both teams, but if KT wield it first, that's going to get them a nice lead, and their timing's going to be on time. However, on the same side, 2 3s together is that same 6 that DAMWON Gaming is looking at. Closer to 6 items, the more easy the team fights will be for DAMWON Gaming.
And they're going to have some pretty sick wombo once it does come down to it, as Nuclear, he's just been chilling in the bottom lane the entire time as, oh boy, on a ward here's Showmaker, and one more auto might have done it if not for that one, but the flash forward and an extra one is going to be enough as BDD is able to style on him, but now there's 2 members of DAMWON. Make it 3, actually, as they were looking to hand that kill over, and a dive in the top lane, but it's a trade over as Nuggery takes out Score.
It's a hard one for you, Valdez.
I know.
Everywhere they're finding the observers are like, what's going on here? We have to hire more observers if the meta changes like this. Someone pushes through the mid lane, taking down the turret, the usual glacial pace. Seems like global warming's finally coming to Korea. Off topic, I know. But for this particular example, we actually embrace it.
Technically a good thing, at least for the League of Legends.
The Monkas as well.
And yeah, it's just a million things going on at once. You know, BDD goes deep, but then they get the trade kill, and they decide to group up as 4 as Score gets out of position, trying to go for the dive on the top side, so they trade turrets, but it's the mid lane turret for DAMWON compared to the top lane turret for the side of KT.
Oh, backing on a ward, and BDD can be lethal. Walks up, and
look at the follow-up here.
And this is BDD, one of our best players. Has to flash to guarantee to hit the last bit of damage, and the more sparkles also off of the flash. Beryl comes to the side, pre-popping that ultimate because of the changes on the ability Aftershock Rakan. Is the new thing in Korea. All this while we're brawling topside. Let's see how this started. Nuggery says, well, I'd really like that minion wave. Please stop proxying me. Scores here. But you need that first kill for these dives to be easy. And what have we said before? The aggressive dives with Aatrox that are so easy when it comes to tanking. Gotta choose your person who tanks more carefully. Scores the choice, and he dies amusingly for the 4th time in 19 minutes.
It's been a very physical game for him as well, as we're looking for more death here, as now we're looking to get on top of Smeb. The kick comes in. The ult is there for Smeb, though, looking to turn it around. The double knockup as he gets the revenge on that dive. Not able to get a kill, but says, get out of my house.
Snowflower also dissuading Beryl from joining. Man, if there's another damage item on top there, those sweeps are just getting the double kills. So DAMWON Gaming thinking better of it. Let's keep brawling. Who's to say we can't import metas? Because this one is feeling like the fiesta people want.
Oh, Showmaker, though, he has a Proto Bell, but it's not enough to create any distance. Nuclear immediately. And TSS, it looks like on that one, is now Smeb going to get in the back line, but here's the Wombo combo. They get the Jarvan, and they get another one, but the Smeb is going to help out in the damage. And so far, DAMWON able to turn it around nicely, but can they get out of here alive is the question. Looks like for now, maybe, but that hero minion blocks for Nuclear.
That minion is the only thing that thwarts BD's counterfeit flash into the Trouble Bubble play. KT continue chasing because they know there's backup objectives. It means free time for Zoe and Ezreal. Any fight where they force out the enemy and Zoe and Ezreal are healthy enough to tell tales about, sing songs about it, means that turrets will go down. What are we fighting for is what Korean fans and Korean teams probably say when they watch some of those brawl-heavy metas. KT know that the backup objective from winning skirmishes like this is free turrets with Zoe and Ezreal.
You see how they were able to corner Silas, but look at the turnarounds here at least to pick up 3 more kills on the backside. Or 2 more kills, I should say. And then you get that Special Forces guard minion for the president
close
here.
This one is. Oh, censored.
The denial.
Censored.
From Riot Games.
We don't have the rating to show how close that was, Valdez.
It was close. It was probably less than that 1/8 of a Teemo we talked about before.
Whoa, what's less than 1/8 of a Teemo? Is it 1/9 of a Teemo?
Yeah, well, you're getting there.
Well, I know you're the one that actually, I'm going to defer to you, Teemo expert. What percentage of Teemo was that one off?
It looked like 1/12th I'd put it at.
Oh,
it's definitely not double what the last one was, but it's like half of the way to double, you know?
That's very little of a little Teemo. Like, that's really not much Teemo.
Yeah.
Is that like a little bit of his whistle? Like, what are we talking about here?
It's maybe like half of his hat. No, it's smaller than that. Probably just like the tip of his hat, you know? You know that Teemo hat that everybody wears? It's not a very long brim on that hat.
That's just very little Teemo. So that's why we censored it, guys. Sorry about that when we don't have the rating to show those things.
Yeah.
Once it goes less than 1/10 of a Teemo, just take it off my damn screen.
Yeah. Can't go above 10. That's kind of that round number. So.
Well, let's talk about some round damage numbers. I look at the Zoe here, and I say the round number is a bajillion on the damage range of Double Pen and the Ludens. That's a lot of damage. We already saw some illusions from the Aatrox. That one's on guard. Let's also mention, though, a little bit lower on the side of the Kenny. Yes, Double Pen there as well. But right now, doesn't feel like he has teamfight explosion ranges. He's probably not that far either.
Snep. It's his younger brother, Snep. Here he goes into the back line, and a big Wombo actually on top of him. He can't find that kill, and down he will go, and now Snowflower's going to get baited into it as well. You mentioned that duo of Ezreal and Zoe left alive, but it's 5-on-3 now.
It was just definitely a very Sneb moment. He just gets in there, but he goes in like he's old Aatrox. He's not, and now DAMWON want more.
All right, we're not wasting any time.
Nuggery's here!
Into it as Nuggery wraps around from the back and finds the kill. As, oh boy, BDD, what's going on here? He gets the Trouble Bubble and actually the blasting plant, but the flash on in and the double knockup means that we're going to have an ace, guys. All 5 members of DAMWON are going to survive. No official ace, as Snowflower does spawn right there at the end, but that's 5 kills, and it will be the Baron.
They're just trying to fight in the mechanics pit with DAMWON Gaming, and everyone knows that is a perilous play to go. If that's a mosh pit, you're not getting out of it after the show. You're just stuck in there.
Yeah.
DAMWON Gaming outplay them. Aatrox's mistake. That spillage is going to burn all of KT Rolster, and suddenly a Baron buff in the pockets of DAMWON Gaming.
He said it best, when the game gets physical, the team with high mechanical skill is going to win it, and you can see that DAMWON are doing this just that.
I hope we get the time gap to understand. Let's watch Kennen. He's in a control ward and makes the call. He puts the assist ping out and says, keep fighting, I'm going to flank them. It's the most honest Kennen flank of all time. There's no Earnest Elf Kennen. Maybe there should be. Timo watches on and approves, 1/10 of the Timo anyway. We continue with the fight, and watch Beryl here, because he actually is the reason this happens. He's held on to his flash this entire time, and that is a grand entrance, one that you take a photo of and nod your head.
He had his best tux on for that moment, looking good. As now DAMWON just really in control of this game, ahead 6,000 gold, looking for an extra Cloud Drake to help that big-time Wombo combo engage on it with the Cannon, with the Silas, with the Rakan. You actually do need that kind of movement speed on all those members now, so we'll see how they can move on in this game from ahead.
And let's talk about something we've learned before we even know who wins. We've got Nuguri not picking for lane. He's, of course, still able to make the lane work, but he's not going the full-on hit, I'm going to split this game to win. He's going a spread-the-lead champion, AP Cannon. If you're not going to be there for the team fighting, should have just gone on hit, right? Or gone Nico or something like that. The fact that he's done that and actually pulled off the flanks, not something we usually associate with him, is threatening to make him an even more well-rounded threat than he already was. And we already know he was a very potent threat.
The guy is doing super well here as he does pick up 3 items now. An extra ability to on the backside as it's into Void Staff, looking to just penetrate all of the magic resist in the entire game. BDD and Prey trying to make a case. The 2 pokers here, trying to do that damage. A nice amount there to Nuclear.
With the double pen, still able to make Nuclear consider his options. The next one might draw a QSS or even the Feather Storm. Nuguri, doesn't matter what type of Kennen you are when you have this much of a lead. Keeps walking. He's actually a level behind Smeb, who I guess was looking for a team fight roam. Smeb continues to return. Nuguri, all he's short of, it feels like, is that level 16. And then, well, he's going to come in with a very aggressive hug, like only Kennen can, and blow up some people.
And you mentioned the honest flank. It wasn't any flash or anything like that. It was just smart League of Legends, right, to go unseen, out of vision, and get in position. He didn't have to flash on top of the Ezreal, which you normally have to do, which means that now, in the next fight, if they can force it, he'll hit level 16, and he'll still have his flash with the 3 items plus. How are you going to deal with that?
The answer for KT is, well, you didn't draft to deal with that. We go back to our original expectations, KT. Hold in the 1, and then Zoe, Ezreal sieges. They're the ones getting sieged on Valdez because DWG Gaming already have the Baron. And they're the one where they're having to bail out early to try to get an outnumber with the Aatrox and losing turrets for it. This is what DAMWON drafted for, the grouping team fights, which is not the way they usually draft or play. But getting down and dirty for as long as this game was, got to this spot where we mentioned in the early game having more gold in the game from kills. Very nice for KT. That early game is gone. The Baron is in, the team fighting edge is in. DWG Gaming, they're just a team fight short of closing out the series in a reverse sweep over KT.
It's looking good for that right now. And I feel like the foreshadowing was there, right? KT came out super strong. They were 5-0. Score was getting first blood down in the bottom lane and an Alistair lane. It was all looking really good in game 1, but then very shaky to go over the line in that game 1. And DWG eventually kind of figured it out. Maybe if we can just continue baiting them into fights, we'll just continue to win these games, and it's been looking good so far.
We haven't been talking about Silas ults, but if we see Kennen and Aatrox in the side lane, the ult I'm most scared to see Silas steal, you'd think it'd be like the depth charge to force, right? And that's definitely up there and could arguably be the one. But actually, to me, stealing Aatrox ult will be the one I'm the most worried about. Because if I see something that might just mean team fight, sustain, given that you will also get that access to the revive, then I'm really scared about where Kennen is. Because if you're stealing that ult, you're going to look for a collapse pretty soon.
Yeah, he's going to have a fun time, and certainly at least 1 kill should be coming through if he could actually pick that one up. But I think the Cataclysm is also pretty good. Could obviously force some people to flash at least, as we were talking about summoners on the side of DAMWON. Well, everybody on the side of KT have theirs as well, so definitely something to consider as we do near this next fight with the Baron coming up in 45 seconds.
All the items here are done, really, for DWG. Everything on top of this is just really going over the edge because we've got so many big item completions. Late zone news comes through. for the cannon. Death cap's there, 4-item build, 100% crit for the Xayah. All KT can do is grin and bear it. They need to poke before they fight.
They get the trouble bubble here onto Nuguri, who has to Zhonya's early, so they're forcing the fight here. Nuguri gonna stay alive, but down he does go right at the end, and now Nuclear way out of position here. He's gonna go down, and maybe KT can turn this somehow, as Beryl and everybody is on the run here. Score trying to chase after him, but he's gonna get baited into that one, but Showmaker getting pretty low, but now Canyon trying to make things interesting on the Prey. Showmaker still alive in the back line here. Dredgeline is going to miss. A kick towards his allies actually means that Showmaker is going to go down. Nice follow-up there from Prey. Looks like Beryl will get away, but KT win a big fight against the run of play.
And they found one of the few ways. Poke before you fight. Get that trouble bubble on Nuguri. Could do a lot of things, but not live through that, and actually gets no value out of all the items he has from about 8,000 to 9,000 gold down. KT Rolster were able to get some big shutdowns, slow down the advance of DAMWON, and all it needed was one bubble. Blowing bubbles is what BDD is all about on this Zoe, and it just means that Nuguri gets nothing done.
Yeah, I don't think he even ults there at the end. He does right at the end, right before he dies, so that's also kind of unfortunate, but it's BDD again, forcing the play.
Showmaker actually plays the back end of this fight really, really well. He stops KT from just turning on Baron by picking down the enemy jungler, so definitely looking for his MVP after once again getting involved in a pentakill that he didn't get an MVP for. It's happened twice now. But backs away from this. He does go down at the end. Still not enough with all the time wasted to take a Baron for the team of KT Rolster. A lot of question mark things from KT on that Baron. Map control still for DAMWON Gaming, but if KT get that Baron, Valdez, then they can actually get to the game state they wanted of sieging with the Ezreal and the Zoe. It's getting to the Baron through DAMWON's teamfight comp that's going to be tricky.
It's going to be quite rough. It's only one step up the giant staircase they have to climb if they want to come back in this game. Prey to actually flash right at the end to pick up the kill on the Showmaker as well, which just adds a nice little extra point, a little extra star on the scoreboard there for Showmaker.
3 Cloud Drakes for Nuguri. He kept his flash, his ult is up. Where is Nuguri at? Must be KT's question at every moment. Svev's going to check with his face.
And that means he's probably going to die here, as he is going to ult here. In the end, gets a big knockup, but you just can't build through that one. As another bubble is going to land on a Nuguri. Can they get the damage? It's close. It looks like the Paddle Star was just barely short. Nuguri gets out alive, and they take out the enemy top lane.
Smeb's thought is correct, but he needs backup to look for those things. If the cannon's already there, his life is going down, so him dying there is pretty big. TP to come back. DAMWON Gaming looking for the Baron.
All right, so now it's 5-on-4. Two-shot barrage is down. Smite available here for Score, but being zoned out by Beryl, and they don't have vision. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough as they get the knockup now onto the back line. A big ultimate there from the side of the Silas. Takes that one away from Snowflower. They get the double kill. Now the rest of KT just on the run after they give away another Baron to the side of DAMWON Game.
And Xayah brings up the mini-whip. Can they just win on this push? Feels like a Doom push, Valdez.
Absolutely does. Just trying to read that one. Is not going to be the case. Showmaker with a fantastic Nautilus ult the last time around. But the push continues here as, okay, trying to get that kick. Prey able to be away from that one. Another cannon coming in here that they can use with the Baron. And not too much time on the death timers. They got to go now if they want to, but the fear on the minions by Smeb trying to push him away as they're trying to engage the big time into the back line of Prey. They should be able to get him here, and Smeb also in the stopwatch just barely trying to hold on to this game, but they're going to target the Nexus and try to end it as fast as possible. Can they, though, as the big cataclysm in the back line, but it's not enough as DAMWON